far as the maintenance aspect goes, or the care of your equipment goes, ask questions, call a mechanic, take it to a mechanic, whatever it takes. There are people out there that are paid, and yes, sometimes it gets expensive. We're not in a cheap sport. So, talk to these people. They will help you out. They will point you in the right direction. Or, if necessary, you can pay the right people to do the work that you need done. It's better to pay for it than cut corners and end up in trouble. So, now, that being said, that's a 15-minute rant on maintenance of your actual equipment and your boat and motor. At the end of the day, all tying back into safety. Next, I want to talk about this upcoming week, or weekend. April 1st through 3rd, if any of you are here in New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, PEI, somewhere on the East Coast, if you're going to be in the Moncton area, please stop in to the New Brunswick Sportsman Show and Moncton Boat Show at the Moncton Coliseum and Agrena Complex. It's 2 shows under one roof. One admission fee gets you into both shows. I am going to be there along with some of my tour counterparts. Some real good friends, some real good anglers. We're going out with, in our particular case, with the New Brunswick Sport Fishing Association, we're there representing them. I'm going to be there basically all weekend. Friday at the show, we have Aaron and Ryan Hood, our 2015 NBSFA champions. 2 of the best younger anglers in the province of New Brunswick. They're going to be there Friday from when the show opens till about 4:30 in the afternoon. Answering questions. We'll have some... We don't sell anything on site, so we're not going to be there trying to push anything down your throat. But what we will have is some baits, some gear there. We'll show you a few little tricks, tying knots, different ways to rig baits. If you ask these questions, we'll do what we can to help you out. We're not going to sell you anything, but we might be able to save you some money before the season is over. Friday evening, there's going to be myself, my lovely wife, and Keith Cormier. Keith is a B1, an NBSFA angler, but also a man who has traveled to Quebec, competed in the Berkeley B1. Very experienced, very, very skilled angler. Saturday we have Mike Rickett, Wayne Carr, and myself and my wife. We will be kind of sharing the time at the booth. The 4 of us will fill the entire day there. And like I said, tips, pointers, advice. Mike's been fishing for 25 years or more. I think Wayne's got a similar track record. My wife is going to be there, as I said. And for any of you that are interested in tournament fishing, as I've said before, your wives are an integral part of what you are going to do. Your wives, your girlfriends, whatever the case may be. Without their support, life's going to get a whole lot harder. So don't take their support for granted. Don't just assume that it's going to be there. Make sure you get their input. Make sure you know that they're on board with you. Because there's a lot of time commitment. There's a lot of financial commitment. So just make sure you take that into consideration, because fishing in any way, shape, or form is not worth costing yourself your relationship. Just keep that in mind. And then Sunday we have Bruce Chasson, Steve Forgy, and I apologize if I pronounce your last name wrong, Steve. I never seem to get it right. And myself once again. So that's at the New Brunswick Sportsman Show. Also there, NBSFA member Jeff Wilson will be there representing the Miramichi Striper Cup. After its first first year, I'm apparently tongue-tied this morning. After its first year, is the largest single fishing tournament in the province of New Brunswick, up on the beautiful Miramichi River, a striped bass tournament that was founded last year. Big fish, big prizes. That's all I can say. Come see Jeff Wilson at the Miramichi Striper Cup booth. On top of that, we have some wonderful local businesses. And when I say local, I'm talking about, within New Brunswick, not just one region in particular. Dorian Outfitters from St. John one of my personal favorite stores, Mark Dorian and his staff, Abby Spite, Terry Pine that's down there. Terry leans more towards the sporting goods, not the outfitting side, but they're all there. They're all top-notch people, top-notch store to deal with. Fredericton Outfitters and Anglers, Chris Munn and his staff. Once again, local businesses that I can't say enough about. Here in New Brunswick over the last year, we've experienced a shift in our marketplace. We have had, and it's been exciting for sportsmen and sportswomen in this area to have the big box stores. Cabela's and Bass Pro have both opened in New Brunswick within the last year. But we have to remember that our local businesses built the industry in this region. Those local businesses made the industry strong enough in this region that those big box stores were willing to come here. So we can't forget those local businesses. Now, I just said, I've got a Bass Pro Shops Pro Qualifier reel sitting right here beside me. And so far, I haven't hooked a fish with it. I had a crazy dog, wanted to chase the weight, but I haven't hooked a fish with it. But so far, I'm very impressed with it. But does that mean I'm done shopping at places like Dorian Outfitters, Fredericton Outfitters, places like this? Not a chance. Those stores are the stores that I have been reliant on for the last few years. Yes, Southern Yankee Baits, one of the great companies I deal with. I order a lot of my soft plastics out of North Carolina, but they're custom poured to my color specifications. It's a little different scenario. But when I need something and I need it in a hurry, I head for Dorian Outfitters or Fredericton Outfitters, depending on where I am, where I'm at. Now, yes, where I live now, because I moved this past summer, Bass Pro Shop is the same distance, roughly, as going to Dorian's. And if I'm going in that direction, yes, I will stop into Bass Pro. I have nothing against the big box stores. I will spend money there. But I've got to remember to support my local too, because at the end of the day, our local businesses are what got us where we are. And if you're in a region that has, the big box stores plus your local shops, it's all the same for you too. We've got to support what is homegrown and right in our backyards. I'm not for a minute telling people not to support Bass Pro Shops, not to spend any money there, because like I said, I know I have, and I know I will. But they will not see 100% of my money that I spend throughout the season staying stocked up for fishing. Because before Bass Pro opened its doors, Mark Dorian and his staff and Chris Munn and his staff were looking out for anglers like me. If I went in to Mark in St. John, who I have dealt with more than I have Fredericton, if I go to St. John and I say, Mark, I need this, he'll find a way to get it for me. It might take a little longer because he doesn't have it in stock. If I'm in no hurry for it, I don't mind. And I know everybody's different and everybody's budget. Well, I can save 50 cents if I go to Bass Pro Shops. Yeah, you can save 50 cents if you go to Bass Pro Shops. Well, if you need that 50 cents, then save it. But at the same time, if you're that worried about saving 50 cents, can you afford to fish that week? I've talked about that before too. Don't let fishing financially hurt you. If you have to choose between paying a bill and paying an entry fee, or paying a bill and buying a new rod, you don't need to fish that tournament. You don't need that new rod that bad. Now, I'm not going to tell you that I haven't, had weeks that it's been tight because I've been paying entry fees. But I've always, you always have to prioritize. I guess you could say I'm a little bit passionate about the situation with the local shops. There's been a lot of rumors over the last little while floating around about the upcoming Sportsman's Show this weekend in Moncton, saying that the big box stores forced the little guys out, and there's been a lot of, for lack of a better term, crap floating around on social media and other places that I've been talking to people. At this point, that's all that is crap. There's no truth behind the rumors. And I went right to the source. I have a friend of mine who is involved directly with the promotion company that is putting on the NB Sportsman Show, Master Promotions. There's no truth to these rumors. But if we don't support our local businesses, we won't have to worry about the big box stores forcing them out, because they won't be there to force out. So let's look after our backyards, folks. It's the same as anything. Let's look after what's in our backyards. The big stores are there, and they're great. They're fun. They have so much stuff, it'll make your head spin. And like I said, I have spent money there, and I will spend money there, because there are items that I will save a whole lot more than 50 cents on. But at the same time, my local stores are still going to see a good chunk of my money, and hopefully you all stop and, have a thought, of doing the same thing. Spread your money around. Keep it local as much as you can. And then, it's, yes, free market, free economy, free market, competition, all that stuff. But I still feel a real strong urge to support locals. So come out this weekend to the Sportsman Show. Before I keep rambling and driving people away, come out this weekend to the Sportsman Show. The other thing that's going to be happening this weekend at the Sportsman Show, for those of you who have heard tell of the app called Periscope. Periscope is an app that works through Twitter, or in conjunction with Twitter, to do live streaming. Well, we're going to play around with Periscope a little this weekend. I have 2 Periscope accounts that I'm going to be running through this weekend. One is my own personal one. And don't laugh. When I first set up my Twitter account, I set it up as a joke. So my username is @Quackers, Quackers 1976. I will be broadcasting from my Periscope account and also @NBSFA, the New Brunswick Sport Fishing Association. Throughout the weekend, I will be broadcasting from either of those Periscope accounts at any given time, highlighting the Sportsman Show, maybe broadcasting some of the seminars that are taking place, the bass fishing seminars, the striped bass fishing seminars that will be taking place at the Sportsman Show. All this stuff leading up to the first event of the New Brunswick Sport Fishing Association season, because this year, starting out with the NBSFA, we are doing live streaming of special events and our weigh-ins. So as long as I think we have one tournament where our cell service is questionable. That tournament we may not be able to cover, but other than that, we are going to attempt to live stream all our weigh-ins all season long. So when we come off the water at 4 p.m. Atlantic time, so it would be 5 p.m. Eastern for those of you in the Eastern time zone, you'd be able to go on your computer, punch us up, and see what's happening. See who's winning down here in New Brunswick. Or if you're a bass fishing or if you're a bass angler here in New Brunswick, but you couldn't make it out to the tournament, you couldn't make it to the weigh-in. Let's see who did what this weekend. You'll be able to go online and watch. So once again, folks, @Quackers 1976 or @NBSFA on Twitter and on Periscope both. Get yourself set up so you can watch. I'll be broadcasting from the Sportsman Show this weekend. I may actually step in and do a live podcast this weekend as well, just to let everybody know what's going on at the show. So get signed up on Twitter and on Periscope. Be ready to check those broadcasts out. Keep your eyes open for a live podcast this weekend. I will advertise it on our NB Bassin Facebook page before it happens. But just keep your eyes on the social media. Keep track of what's going on. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to NB Bassin. On the water and in life, keep your line tight. Set the hook. Thank you.